Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. And we are here in Ontario. We slept a couple times, filled up the truck, and now we are delivering empty pallets to Lakeview, Oregon. Let's take a look at the map and see our route today. We'll be heading west down Highway 20, going south through Burns, cutting right down the 395 into Lakeview. Looks like a very small town on the California border, and it's 258 miles, 5 hours to get there, and $8,900 to deliver. So all is not bad. Let's go ahead and start the truck and get down the road, shall we? We're picking up right where we left off at this very difficult turn in here. We had to back in and whatnot. So hopefully we won't run into too much trouble trying to make the left turn out of here. Looks like it may be a little bit sketch, but we'll try to make it work. My goal for today is not to crash. In the last episode, that turn was a little wide. In the last episode, I was too busy admiring the sights and ended up getting myself into a whole heap of trouble. Didn't damage the cargo, thankfully. But let's try not to do that today, shall we? All right, intersection is clear. That worked out well for us. Now we got a red light, and it looks like we'll be making a left, so we'll just merge here in the left lane. 65 mile an hour through the middle of town, which is really cool. It's interesting that the speed limit of the town is, 65 right through the heart of it, even with these stoplights. So I imagine a lot of drag racing gets kicked off here, because you technically wouldn't be speeding in the amount of time it takes you to get from light to light. No U-turns, which I could relate to that. I wouldn't want to try to U-turn right here in the intersection. But here we are in Ontario. This is sort of the northern part of town. Nothing really much to look at in the grand scheme of things, but not bad. And wow, we fit in the entire turn lane. That's pretty cool. Just waiting on this light here. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of American Truck Simulator. A few more towns to go in Oregon, and unbeknownst to me, until I loaded up Steam a little bit earlier, is that the Special Transport DLC came out for American Truck Simulator just a scant few days ago, which adds police escort and very, very big loads. So once we're done sightseeing through Oregon, I'll pick up that DLC, and we'll be able to pick up the series right where we left off with some very, very big loads. Looking at the pre-release notes, it looks like the loads are going to be centered around the base game first. Basically what the developers have to do is configure the routes. Very specific routes that the loads have to take. So unlike a standard load where we could go anywhere we wanted to go, the police escort has a very specific route in mind. Roads and intersections are blocked off, and you'll have to follow that route. So in order to accommodate everyone, it makes sense. They did the base game first. So California, Arizona, and Nevada are pre-configured first, with more coming down the pipeline. The New Mexico heavy hauls and the Oregon heavy hauls. So definitely looking forward to that. I saw a Chinook helicopter without the rotor blades on it available for transport, and of course you have your heavy industrial transformers and power stations and all that good stuff to transport. Should be a very good time, so look forward to that. I believe we've seen about half the towns here in Oregon. Still working through, and we technically passed Eugene, maybe even a couple times, but it didn't count. We're entering Vail now, and yeah, we came through here in the last episode. We were on that road right over there. Oh, 35, huh? All right, let's drop down a few gears, get to 35 miles an hour, and cruise through Vail, Oregon here. Great tires. I doubt they could outfit our truck. That's one thing that American Truck doesn't have is, I mean, you could always buy new tires, but it's just sort of a cosmetic sort of feel whenever you go to repair, your tires get repaired, which, of course, in real life, tire wear is a thing, and you can't just go to a shop and say, hey, fix my tires, and they're brand new. I could see how that could get sort of, I guess, monotonous, or, oh wow, that's a podunk gas station. I think we saw that in the last episode. But I can see how tire management may be a little bit cumbersome, especially if they have to configure your own company drivers with tire management. 55 through the curves. We'll go ahead and stick to 55. It looks like the trucks in front of us are doing so as well. But I watched an episode of This May Contain Nuts with Squirrel, and he was talking about how in-depth simulation can go. And, you know, he brings up a few good points about how American Truck Sim is fun for sure, but it's not the authentic 100% trucking experience that, say, someone who wants to become a truck driver and, you know, feel the weight shift in, say, the tanker or the load. You know, you don't get that in American Truck. This is sort of like a sightseeing trucker light. It gives you the feeling of trucking without all the pressures of trucking, and it would be interesting to see a fully fledged out simulation trucking simulator where every knob in the truck works, and, you know, the weight shifts around, and you have to take care of, you know, multiple parts of your truck. I'd play it for sure. I don't know how the simulation audience would do such things, but I think there'd be a lot of... Oh, so this isn't... Is this an actual right turn intersection? No. Okay. It's just so tight that it made it seem like that was an actual turn in an intersection. But I'd definitely be up for it. A full trucking simulator. Think of like how NASCAR Heat would be American Truck Simulator, and then iRacing would be the brand new trucking game, whatever that was. I don't know if SCS would make it. I think they've got too much on their plate already with Euro Truck and American Truck, and they get the job done. They're very fun, very relaxing, cool to see some of the sights around the country, and, you know, there's the realism there that people can say, I've been there, I've seen those landmarks, I know exactly where you're at, and that's cool. I don't think that trucking sim would be nationwide, for sure. I think it would have to be relegated to maybe a state, or maybe even like half a state, or even like a big city, like New York Trucker or something like that. You know, all the layouts of New York, making deliveries backing into back alleys, really tight spaces. That provide the trucking community a challenge for sure. Oh wow, these guys are starting to pick up some speed here. We'll keep it low and slow. We don't want to accordion this thing up, because by the time we get up to speed, then I think the trucks in front of us will be slowing down for this this chicane in front of us. But pretty soon, I think we'll be on the brand new highway heading down south toward Lakeview. Not Lakeview, Washington. I've been to Lakeview, Washington many a time. It's right outside of Fort Lewis, and in fact, there was some Cops episodes in Lakeview around Tacoma. And it was interesting to see some of the old places I used to hang out on Cops for sure. But really enjoying American Truck. I think there may be 4 or 5 episodes of Oregon left while we flesh it out, and I have a request from an Oregon native saying that the Redwood Forest Highway down the 101 on the western side of Oregon into California is very scenic. So I think that would be a good finale. Oh, what happened here? Oh, we got an accident or a breakdown? Yeah, an accident. And no other vehicle involved, so this is where the forensics would say perhaps wildlife jumped out in front of that poor driver. And this time of year, in November where I'm from, the deer are out in force, and you when you drive, you know, late night, 11 o'clock at night, midnight, 1 in the morning, the deer are pretty active moving across the highways, and it's always that, you know, hold on to your butts feeling when you go down a stretch of road that isn't lit and you've only got your headlights to see, and you may just see a deer pop out right in front of you. Please pull in for an inspection. So the weigh station is on the right here. We were able to pass it on our way through here because it wasn't on our side of the street, but we do have to pull in here. Hopefully we don't get a speeding ticket. The last couple rest stops I parked at, I got a speeding ticket for not being under 15 miles an hour, but there we go, there's the 15 limit. All right, we will pass the inspection, and a police officer right there to make sure that we obeyed the rules. Oh crap, I turned the truck off. Well, you know, accurate weight, all that good stuff. Let's see if we can get up to speed fairly quickly here. The left lane looks clear. And through Burns we go. So this will be the interchange where we'll start to see brand new roads. All right, so 40 limit through here. I'll roll off the gas a bit. But I'm definitely glad that wildlife isn't a thing and wildlife cannot damage your truck. I mean, that would be definitely part of that big trucking simulator, that fantasy perfect trucking, you know, experience. And I wouldn't think that any bit of wildlife would survive when faced head-on with a Kenworth 900 that we're driving here. Sweet, so we're entering Burns. We're going to be making a right turn at that light, not here. A little bit too aggressive on the turn signal. Passing the Yummy. All right, let's come to a stop. We can right turn on red. Make sure nothing's going to come from our left side to hit us. And it looks like the left turn lane. No, it's not a left turn specific light. It's one of those, all right. So if y'all are going to go, I'm going to go. That semi is going to hit those poor people who made the left turn before they'll hit me. But as small as this town is, it does have a Walmart food center. And yeah, we should be passing territory that we've covered before fairly shortly, and then we'll be on to new roads. We're really excited for the special transport stuff. It came out in Euro Truck Simulator 2 a bit ago, and I watched some streams and just to sort of see how it goes. There is no backing up to the oversized load. You just sort of accept the job, and then you get like a cutscene movie where you see people ratchet strapping it down and making sure it's safe before you take off, and then you're behind the escort vehicle and you have to maintain your distance and, you know, follow their lead and all that good stuff. There's a pretty sizable rest stop, and apparently we visited it before. I don't remember visiting it, but it's yellow, so we've been there. Up the lane ends. Let's go ahead and move on over. And hopefully, yeah, there we go. I was going to say, hopefully we can get a speed limit increase up here. Nice, up to 45. We'll just ride right here until the speed limit picks up, and we'll be on the lookout for our exit. But thanks again for joining me for this ride. It's a pretty fun series to do, and I'm glad that SCS is continuing to give us sort of intermediate DLC in between the states to keep us interested and to keep me occupied. Otherwise, I'd have to come up with a brand new Monday series, and to be honest, you know, I'm kind of running out of games to play as a series. I played a crap ton of Assassin's Creed Odyssey by myself, about 80 hours into it, max level, completed the main quest, and I'm going through getting all of the quests so I can say I've 100%ed it, sort of doing an achievement run. That's one of those things that I couldn't make an episode of Odyssey every single day, And my channel has always been about variety, and maybe to my detriment, because people want to see the newest games like right now, and they want to see a complete playthrough like right now, start to finish. And I like playing different things. I don't want to get burned out on one game. So like I'll record this American Truck episode and then not pick it up until next week when it's time to record again, because I'm playing, you know, Motorsport Manager or Europa, or racing with Brandon in the NASCAR Racing 2003 season series, and Kingdom Come on Friday. So I'll have to start thinking of some episodes for this off season though. There's only 1 week left of NASCAR, getting ready to finish up Homestead. Winner, well, highest finisher takes all between myself and Brandon and 2 other drivers. And, you know, once that's done, what am I going to do on Thursday? And that's a very good question you ask. What will I do for Thursday after this week? And I was pondering, looking back at my channel, and my most successful series have been Hearts of Iron 4, Iraq, and Kerbal Space Program. So I could get it back into some Kerbal Space Program, do a sort of galaxy or, you know, solar system sightseeing where I try to go to every planet. Might be pretty cool. But one thing I was wanting to do is I looked at my game library in Steam, and I was thinking, what am I going to play starting, you know, next week? And I saw Hearts of Iron 3. Now, Hearts of Iron 3 came out, I think, what, 4 or 5 years before Hearts of Iron 4, but the mechanics of the game are a little bit more in-depth. You can definitely see that when Hearts of Iron 3 was made, it was made for the hardcore strategy gamer rather than maybe someone who's picking up a Paradox game for the first time with Hearts of Iron 4. So maybe an Iraq playthrough in Hearts of Iron 3 with all the new mechanics, and we can just sort of see how that pans out. And that should take us all the way to the start of the new season. I'm definitely racing next season with Brandon. Hopefully the 2019 car set will be released with all the drivers and sponsors. This NASCAR season has been incredible as far as silly season goes, with driver changes and team changes and all that stuff. So it'd be exciting to get back into it. Ooh, a little bit tight turn there. Let's back her down just a skosh. Definitely don't want to go tipping these empty pallets all over the road. Oh, nice. We got some, what is that, a lake? Or is that, because it wouldn't be the ocean. We're cutting like right through the heart of Oregon. Or is that a mirage? Now, I don't know what that is, but it's big. Whatever it is, it's pretty flat. It's almost like a, I'd say that's a lake. If I had to, oh, trailer's tipping. See, bad things happen when you go external camera. It definitely is a long and lonesome road, pretty windy, but yeah, nice big lake out there to our right. Got Rosarka. I think she was my very first driver, and Rosarka is doing the work for sure, and leveled up again. That's why I'm talking about Rosarka. All right, let's back this down to 55. I think the truck in front of us is going 55, so well, we got some road construction apparently. All right, let's back her down. Oh, this is gonna be narrow. And this is going on a lot here in my hometown. A lot of lane work. Our main strip through town is a 3-lane road. Of course, you got your left lane, right lane, and then a suicide lane to where you can turn either left or right from it. And over the last couple of months, they've taken that in one of the entire lanes away. So of course, the bottleneck was there when people were trying to turn left or right. They had to cross, you know, a broken strip of road, and they did their best to sort of put an asphalt slope up to the road that it was meeting, which it was like a 2 or 3 inch climb from the ground out part of the road that we were driving on to the side streets that weren't touched. And my Camaro didn't appreciate the those sharp inclines like that for sure. I'm glad that road work is done, but I can definitely relate to the road construction that's been going on here recently. So yeah, uncharted territory through here, I believe. A nice forest drive. I don't know if I'm going to achievement hunt on camera. The Oregon DLC has some sightseeing achievements, which might be cool to hop in a streetcar and go see. I know there's a lighthouse in question that is part of the sightseeing, and a few big landmarks. Reduced speed, huh? Well, I'm going 55. I don't know what you want me to go down to, but I'll preemptively say 45. Nope, 35. All right, we'll back it on in, and I think we are here, ladies and gentlemen. There is Lakeview, and how fitting that it's right by a lake, and it makes sense exactly why they named this town Lakeview, and there we go. 11 out of 14 cities discovered, Lakeview being the 11th. So it's a pretty cool distribution center. Looks like a mill town, a mining town. We got a cowboy over here. Welcome to Lakeview. Now I wonder if that is actually at the Lakeview city limit, because that's pretty cool to have a pretty identifiable, you know, landmark right as you enter town. Let's drop a few gears here. The Lakeview police. And yeah, we're just like going through somebody's neighborhood. Oh, nice, cars parked on the side of the street. Usually that's reserved for one-way streets, but you know, I'm not too awful picky. So Alturas is to the right. I don't believe that was one of the named cities here in Oregon. Alturas doesn't ring a bell. But definitely from here, I think we can get some good jobs that'll take us elsewhere. Yeah, 395 south, that's to California over there. Oh, incredible waving arm, wacky tube man. Or whatever that was. Incredible flailing arm, tube man, something or another. Right by the burger joint, we're pulling into this FedEx over here. Hopefully it's an easy park. Trying to find out where exactly I'm needed. Kind of looks like the entrance is, oh, right here. Right before the train track. So we are coming in, ladies and gentlemen. The gate is opening up. Security is awake and alert. All right, let's get on over here. We see where we're dropping right there. I think what I'll do, we might have clipped the fence just a touch, but I'll do like a loop in here and try to near side reverse it. I don't know if we're going to have the room though, but I'll do my best here. Nice. Know exactly where your corners are. Now some scumbag put his pallets right there. Yeah, I think we might have to back up just a little bit. Now hopefully this will give us enough room to reverse. I think it will. We should be okay. And we'll give ourselves enough room to counter steer. Get right about in the middle of the road here. And yeah, it looks like if we crank it now, we might be okay. So I imagine a dealer like FedEx wants a lot of empty pallets, especially for shipping on. So I imagine these pallets here are going to end up on one of these trailers with a bunch of goods on it for sure. All right, where's my corner? A little bit too tight, I think. I'm trying to make things better for myself, and I'm not doing a very good job. So if we pull around over here, we should have plenty of room to back the trailer in. We'll have to come around really, really sharp. We're not going to have to hit that truck. Something like this. Then we'll follow it on around. Now that may have been a bit too sharp. I don't know if the 900 can bring its nose around that quick. Dang it! All right, so it may be, depending on how much room we have, a far side reverse, which those are always a little bit tricksy. So we'll loop this thing around. Just use the end of the yard over there. All right, we're not going to be hitting this international in front of us here. I thought I could get away with it, but that's what I get for thinking. All right, so let's set up. Get the trailer straight and then come in at a 45-degree angle-ish. That way we don't clip these boxes. It's a little bit tight. Yeah, I don't know. Man, this is tricksy for sure. We're gonna have to use all of the yard here. Let's get her out to the fence. See if we can pivot the trailer right there. Looks to be okay. We might have missed it. Are we in the right stall? Well, of course, the scumbag pallets are there. All right, where am I in the grand scheme of things? What is our life right now? Oh, too quick. All right, we can fix too quick. We could just do something like that. And then get it in its stall. Are we going to clip that trailer? Yeah, that actually didn't do anything for us. Tell you what. It's a good thing this trailer ain't much longer. I don't know if I could do it. All right, here we go. For real this time. I was just playing around. Let's put it in its stall. Of course, scumbag pallets. Okay, where are we now? In the exact same place as we were before? Yep. Tell you what, I am going to fast forward until I can get this thing parked. All right, pulling up to the dock here. I think this one is going to count. And there we go. Yeah, I had to reverse from the outside camera, and I don't usually like doing that. It takes away from the realism, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And I imagine truck drivers would appreciate sort of like a floating external camera like we have in ATS to reverse. It would make things a whole lot better. But there we go. So cargo is delivered here in Lakeview. So we are right here on the California border. So we have Klamath Falls, we have Medford, which we haven't seen, and then Eugene. So it looks like we may be able to maybe do like a loop down south through California and up to Klamath Falls, and then maybe down south to Hornbrook and up to Medford. And then we'll take a run through the petrified forest down to Eureka. Let's see if the freight market is going to agree with us here. As far as jobs from Lakeview, if we can get one to Medford, that would be pretty good. We've got Newport, which don't help us. Eugene kind of helps us because we haven't officially seen Eugene yet. But yeah, I don't see anything to Klamath Falls. I may get some rest and sleep up, you know, and see if I can refresh the job market a bit. But that's going to do it for me in this episode of American Truck Sim. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next American Truck Simulator video. Take care.